Hello. I'm here. Welcome, Lily Rubin. Welcome, Mer Rowley. Alright. Let's bring a thing up here. Welcome, Morale. Welcome, Sonic Cookie. Welcome, Lily Rubin. Welcome, Ethereal. Welcome, Bone Daddy. I got like a couple minutes. I got like 15 minutes to like fuck around. Hello. That's invigorating. That's not really the best angle, but that's fine. Stay up for this. Oh shit, Jester's here. Welcome, Leigh Williams. Oh, that camera's drifting. Shit. This is a bit more apt. That shit's getting stuck on everything. There we go. Don't seem to know you're just a placebo. God. Let's see, what's my... Yeah. Can I do that? Yeah, I can. How's everybody's day been? We compare, collapse wave function, catch what appears from the backing dysfunction. Gray area ingrained in the junction of grave hysteria and the same old deductions. No need to make introductions, know me enough to proceed by assumption. Trusting your mind's eye, reading lines of something in a scene between Venetian and Etruscan wanderlust. For realms in dreams, ponder what the hell I see. I need some tea. Oh, it's hot. I gotta let that cool still. I see it, axes unseen, but done and heard. Yeah, that's where it's reverse. What's shown to you is earth, but your soul's on Jupiter. Unsaid with words, we're made of major third to play on earth, but you shape the universe. Ha! I've been hearing good things about Good Omens. I've been hearing good things about... Yeah, I've been hearing good things about Good Omens. God. Everybody's talking about it. Apparently it's about, like, angels. Hell yeah. Alright, so, basically how this is gonna go is, I'm gonna do that whole intro spiel. I'm gonna announce some stuff. I hit 1K followers on Twitter, so I have some merch that I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put out, there's 2 things I'm gonna put out tomorrow. There's really just like a bonus song left for Crowside, and that's gonna come up for patrons tomorrow. I didn't post AKB today. I came in to record some answers this morning. I wasn't really happy, so I'm gonna take another shot at it after stretching my throat, having some tea, warming up some other stuff. Play on Earth, but you shade the universe. Whoa! God. Yeah. I'm making corners and choruses of the same thing. Keep ignoring the foreigners to our closed off ring. Your heart in your throat and closed magnetic wings. Your accents have a voice in the ether it can sing. I'm playing string loops, making ring swoop. EMP the wavelengths, bringing shapes through to you specifically. Experience it differently. If you can hear it, maybe listen to me. Bring me the bass, spit the acid. We'll make the souls of the earth after dancing. My engine ain't combustion, it can't pull a gasket. I am a being after. Give me bass, give me acid. Play the metal and the radiation bastard. My engine ain't combustion, it can't pull a gasket. I am a being after. If seeing ain't believing, then I can't put it past you. Take what the waves gave you, make it matter. My center's an elevation, ascend above and need for simple self-preservation. I arrange my gravitation, create my own elation. I'm reaching out, I'm merging imitations. Those dimensions made of 3, I'll count to 4. Keep investing chains, maybe I can count to even more. Learning schemes, taking notes, tally resulting, keeping score. Writing mile-high lines of your bloodline's lore. I made it during something once you think it first passed. Chart spinning, mass turning, tangible fact. I roll through a plane invisible to you. When I lack clarity, it creates your own truth. We keep things loose. These points are approximate. Crystallite the juice, electric intoxicants. You put the formula, here's the concoction. Turn it for you loud, down is not an option. Bring me the bass, I'll spit the acid. We'll make the salt of the earth after dancing. My engine ain't combustion and it can't blow a gasket. I'm out of fucking breath. I can't put it past you. And take what the waves gave you, make it matter. There's more than light and dark to me. I got experience and a part to be. See through each hue when the heart beats patterns. When the privilege to climb this ladder. Found tools and how to use them. And take and choose from the rules and its illusion. Unquenchable high signal ratio amidst disaster. I am a being after. If seeing ain't believing, then I can't put it past you. Take what the waves gave you, make it matter. If seeing ain't believing, I can't put it past you. Take what the waves gave you, make it matter. get a break. Apparently I have a show coming up at a small venue here on July 27th. So a couple times in this next month, I might try to like demo that set, rehearse it rather. But I'd be crazy to be down without you seeing this. Your studio ain't practical, it's scenic. And any new trick you flick at me, I've already seen it. With the Mac and the mic, I'll be punching the clock like a demi-deity of the 2-week drop. So don't balk till you gotta track the long that. If you hear me scream, you're in my territory. And don't you fucking dare come near me. I'm cross-eyed, sun-seared, soul guide, gold tier, main feature. Displeased to meet you, don't talk to me. You see me clear, you're in my range of hearing. And don't you fucking dare talk to me. Respect me like nobility, to the best of your ability. But don't you dare talk to me. Don't talk to me. Don't care if you're a child at heart. Your mind's more childish than any other part, it ain't funny. Begging, go fund me, monthly, if you blow the money, buying furry art. We're all trying and dying to keep our heads above it all, but the shit you can't manage is incredible though. You never cut up a vegetable, tell me it's inedible? Wow, what are you, 5, 6? Your parents never had you play with knives? Shit, microwaving every time you dine? In. What are you, fuck. I'm losing my place, so I gotta rehearse. If you hear me scream, you're in my territory. And don't you fucking dare come near me. I'm cross-eyed, sun-seared, soul guide, gold tier, main feature. Displeased to meet you, don't talk to me. You see me clear, you're in my range of hearing. And don't you fucking dare talk to me. Respect me like nobility, to the best of your ability. But don't you dare talk to me. Don't talk to me. Okay. What else do I have that's easier? Sure. Free as a bird, where I roam, I'm gliding. Wheels can turn, and if they slow, I'm still flying, I'm rising. The sight is not all I've known. We call it home, far from alone. Now I'm folding up in a mattress after my friends left in a Discord call here. And after all the rise and fall, sounds like I found my place, made it back to solid ground. If I change, they can wonder how. More to convey than what words can say, but I'm here for now. 'Cause time flies by like that. I'd agonize and it ties me back. Why redefine the past when life decides to come around? I'll be here for now. In the here and now. I'll be here for now. Oh. In the here and now, when life decides to come around, I'll be here for now. Now I'm staring at a notes app page with the cavalcade of blanks to fill. Inked up quills, no time to kill, but rhymes in spades made it back to solid ground. If I've changed, let 'em wonder how. More to convey than what words can say, but I'm here for now. 'Cause time lies by like that. I'd agonize and it'd tie me back. Why redefine the past when life decides to come around? I'll be here for now. In the here and now. I'll be here for now. In the here and now. When life decides to come around, I'll be here for now. 'Cause I'm here for now. In the here and now. 'Cause I'm here for now. In the here and now. Yeah, I did a music video for that one. It's basically a tour guide for Kenosha shit. Alright, we're at 6:02. Welcome to the stream. Everything should have been tweeted out. I got 15 viewers. Let's change this to yeah. Here we go. Alright, so today I'm gonna be doing some AKB recording after I get my voice warmed up enough. I didn't post today on AKB because I just ran out of answers. So I wanted to come in early this morning and record some, but I didn't really have my chops. So, some of these answers are gonna be fun. I just hit 1K on Twitter, and so tomorrow I'm going to be putting out 2 new merch designs available on t-shirts and mugs. One is going to be the They shirt, which will come on a purple and gray tank top. And then one will be Cows Are Fake. I'm doing some Cows Are Fake merch. And the description for that's just gonna be this spiel. So, you know, if you want to walk around with a conversation starter on your shirt. Cows Are Fake, going up tomorrow for sale. But yeah. Then I'm gonna be working on Self Made, which is going to be a Patreon exclusive track for Crozide. And that's what I'm doing. I'm gonna be releasing Crozide along with the instrumentals and backing tracks for Crozide on Bandcamp near like the second week of July, and then they will be available on all streaming services before the last week of July. So yeah. Catch me ordering. Oh my god, Elliot. I really want a Cows Are Fake shirt, honestly. I also want both of them. I want the They shirt. I've had that design forever. Let's pick another song to warm up with. Alright. See you around, Teovella. Thanks for stopping by. Been reading vibes from day to day to day, and where they're coming from I can't say. And now they're playing new direction on the stage. It just says act, it don't explain a damn thing. I had it act fast, grab that chance and pass up the stage right. I found out how to sound just loud enough to stay tight to the player right. 'Cause I got that confidence that comes from burning fears. I had a feeling on the first day of the year. The sun's setting, but the dawn's a new premiere. I got a feeling it's only up from here. Every other day another player takes the stage. Some are in the middle, some are just out of frame. Some people haven't read the script, but some know every page. But everyone forever thought they'd never be the one who could ever win this game. But I had to act fast, grab that chance and pass up the stage right. I found out how to sound just loud enough to stay tight with the player right. I got that confidence that comes from burning fears. I got a feeling on the first day of the year. The sun is setting, but the dawn's a new premiere. I got a feeling it's only up from here. I forget this verse. I had to act fast, grab that chance and pass up the stage right. I found out how to sound just loud enough to stay tight to the player right. I got that confidence that comes from burning fears. I got a feeling on the first day of the year. The sun is setting, but the dawn's a new premiere. I got a feeling it's only up from here. It's only up from here. I got a feeling it's only up from here. The sun's setting, but the dawn's a new premiere. I got a feeling it's only up from here. I'm on the up and up. I sing woes at the top of my lungs. Yeah. Anyway. Let's reconfigure here. Alright. I'm here. I don't like this chair, it's got arms. Don't gotta talk down for fun. Whoa, I'm on the up and up. The up. Whoa. Fuck. Alright, so. You Freeing Up Song is one of my favorites. Thank you. Some of my friends have writing credits for that song. Some of my friends from high school. That's like, it's a take on a fucking song me and my friends did it for a high school talent show. Which is why it sounds like it's about a high school drama, because it's about a high school drama. He said, she said, they said, we said, asking me not to tell. 'Cause I got reasons, I can't even let you all under my shell. Getting heated, heated, can you say you mean it? You gotta need to make everyone feel it. And in a day you're over, what sense you're reeling? And I don't know what the hell. Looking down doesn't hold up well. I'm on the up and up. I'm just fucking saying stuff. Pulling up a file here. Okay, so what questions haven't I done? I got a bunch saved here. I gotta bold these so I can read them. Okay, so there's how is the mayor is one that I got. And my answer is just like, well, last time I saw him, he was... Wait! That's a good question. I actually haven't seen the mayor in... God! How long has it been? Oh, shit. Is he okay? Where's the mayor been? Where is he? Where's the mayor? Dave! What happened to the mayor? It's just that. I could probably do it a bit faster and a bit more frantic when I record it, but there's that. I also have Are You Gay? And on Ask the letter R, the letter U, gay. And I have a whole answer written out for that. Let's see. Are you just short or are you like really short? Is one question. Carcat, have you ever written a fic before in Nepetaquark? Oh my god. My brother is asking for pictures of the merch. Let's do it. Let me just pull up. Let me pull up what we got so far. I don't have the Kaiser fake design up right now. I have the design up right now. But that'll be a thing. Okay, yeah, I don't want to deal with Redbubble right now, actually. Let's stay on track. I'll do that announcement halfway through. I will also be doing a fan art showcase halfway through the stream when we hit like 7 p.m. It's 6:12 right now, so I think it's appropriate to get back into this. There's were any Earth languages other than English revived on Earth C? And I mentioned that like anime has to be like, you know, humans can't survive without anime, so of course, Nihongo wa fuhen tekina teitsu desu. I need to fucking rehearse the syllables on that, but basically it's just gonna do another one. What's your least favorite sound? I want to just say the Twitter notification noise. I might group that in with some other asks. I'll see. Does Carcalicious haunt you as much as it does me? I got a thing written up for that. Do you ever think of asking yourself why? This one has a really long fucking answer. Can you sing? Oh, I could probably record that whole thing. And then there's, do you ever talk to Dirk? I recorded that one already. I just gotta edit it. Alright. If it weren't for the epilogues, I wouldn't be doing this. Oh my god. Okay. What do I do? Which one should I do? Let's do the Carcalicious one. Let's just... How loud is this picking up? I need to know. I need to... get a good grasp of the volume here, just to make sure I'm not clipping when I record. Alright. Okay. Anonymous asked, does Carcalicious haunt you as much as it does me? Some days, it's difficult to fall asleep. I'll toss and I'll turn, I'll get up to use the load gaper and come back to lie down. I count wool beasts. I count my breaths. I decide to entertain some memories, and then regret some of the ones I chose. I stare at the shadows that dance around my block. A vehicle drives by with speakers blaring a chopped-up cello line. with enough treble escaping and drifting through my blackout curtains for me to make out the fucking words. Listen up, y'all. It's summer, and I'm in a cold sweat, and I know I'm not getting any rest. I'll do one more take of that. My streams are always quiet, yeah. I'm just worried about clipping because I do a lot of, like, my voice varies a lot. Here, let's get a threshold up, and then let's turn me way up. Way up. So that should be louder. It's gonna sound like clipping to you guys half the time, but you know. Yeah. Alright. I don't need the noise gate. Okay. So, this is gonna be hell on my compressor. Testing. Testing, 1, 2, 3. There we go. Now that we're situated. Anonymous asked, does Carcalicious haunt you as much as it does me? Some days, it's difficult to fall asleep. I'll toss and turn. I'll get up to use the load gaper and come back to lie down. I count wool beasts. I count my breaths. I decide to entertain some memories, and then regret half the ones I chose. I stare at the shadows that dance around my block. A vehicle drives by with the speakers blaring a chopped-up cello line, with enough treble escaping and drifting flute. A vehicle drives by with speakers blaring a chopped-up cello line, with enough treble escaping and drifting flute. God damn it. This is very distracting. I don't know why my voice... Let's start over. Anonymous asked, does Carcalicious haunt you as much as it does me? Some days, it's difficult to fall asleep. I'll toss and I'll turn. I'll get up to use the load gaper and come back to lie down. I count my breaths. I count wool beasts. I decide to entertain some memories, and then regret half the ones I chose. I stare at the shadows that dance around my block. A vehicle drives by with speakers blaring a chopped-up cello line, with enough treble escaping and drifting through my blackout curtains for me to make out the fucking words. Listen up, y'all. It's summer, and I'm in a cold sweat, and I know I'm not getting any rest. Okay. All right. I can hack that one together. Okay, the why question, this is gonna be a difficult one. Chestnut98 asked, do you ever think of asking yourself, why? Yes. I think why is an important question. It's the only one that has this entirely abstract dimension of meaning attached to it. You can explain how things are the way they are, but it's a lot different than but that's a lot different than why they are. The how of things describes the how... Wait. I gotta edit this. The how of things are literal, physical steps that led up to something. But the why implies something... abstract. A reason for that situation to be led up to. and a possible place for that situation to lead, and the role it plays. But when you realize that life is about how many hows led up to now, and has only ever been a result of how answers, you still have to go back to being a functioning person again. You still fit events into trails and branches and veins of why, just to make sense of how things happened. You still fit events into trails and branches and veins of why, just to make sense of it. Carcat wouldn't get out of the cold sweat even in the summer. That would be so cool. Anatomy is easier when you aren't bombarded with accurate versions 24/7. For some reason, it's way easier to practice humanoids if they're part animal. Yeah, I mean, like, it's like, there's less uncanny valley. There's more variance in animal forms that you can draw an animal, you can draw animal forms without risking the, like, uncanny valley of, like, drawing a human. Because they're so... the proportions of humans are so specific. The proportions of a dog face or a bird face are a little more, like, a little more lenient as far as human perception goes. Thank you, Alyssa. This is still so hot. I'm trying to, like, coat my throat. I made throat coat tea so I could do this before I got into doing Carcat shit, but god. Yeah, furries are more malleable. Alright. Do you ever think of asking yourself why? Yes. I think why is an important question. It's the only one that has this entirely abstract dimension of meaning attached to it. You can explain how things are the way they are, but it's a lot different than why they are. The how of things is literal. The how of things is just literal physical steps that led up to something. But the why implies something abstract. A reason for that situation to be led up to. And a possible place for that situation to lead. The role it plays. But when you realize that life is about how many hows led up to now and has only ever been a result of how, you still have to go back to being a functioning person again. You still fit events into trails and branches and veins of why, just to make sense of it. God damn it, I'm losing it. What I mean is, we're winners. We know how we won. We know why we had to. But sweeps later? Why are we here? What's the point of Earthsea, paradise, if there's no more ultimate why to our actions? What is there to live for if you've already been through it all? What is there to live to see if you've already seen it all? I'll do that. Why is a hard question to answer. A lot of us just make up a new answer to that each day. There we go. Same hat. Draw humans from shit angles because that's how dogs would see us. Yeah, you gotta think about, like, the weird, like the shape of like, what dogs see. They see, like, this weird, like, line with some... They see, like, a weird triangle thing, like, fucking... What's good? I own you. Like, they're into that. I don't know. They just there's something about that shape to them that appeals to dogs. Hello, Kaneko. I'm 24. God. All right, let's try it one more time. Also, let me arrange this so laptop's here, recording computer's here. That makes much more sense. Okay. Need to make sure sound's coming through both my earphones and my headset. Is that too much to ask for? Come on. Give me something. God damn it. Hang on. I gotta switch my thing out. Oh man, once I get into PAN and you guys see the quark symbols and shit, you're gonna realize the significance of that shape. Alright. Chestnut98 asked, do you ever think of asking yourself, why? Yes. I think why is an important question. It's the only one that has this entirely abstract dimension of meaning attached to it. You can explain how things are the way they are, but it's a lot different than why things are how they are. The how of things is just literal physical steps that led up to something. But why implies something abstract, a reason for that situation to be led up to, and a possible place for that situation to lead, the role it plays. But when you realize that life is about how many hows led up to now, and has only ever been a result of how, you still have to go back to being a functioning person again. You still fit events into trails and branches and veins of why just to make sense of it. God damn it, I'm losing it. What I mean is, we're winners. We know how we won. We know why we had to. But sweeps later, what is the point of Earthsea, paradise, if there's no more ultimate why to our actions? What is there to live for? What is there to live to see if you've already seen it all? Why is a hard question to answer. A lot of us just make up a new answer to that each day. God. So yeah, PAN is going to be smaller. I might have a few bit parts from some other voice actors, but it's mostly going to be text. I will say, after doing that stream with Paul from Let's Read, we started talking more, and they may have a role, small or large, in PAN and the later series when that happens. You know how birds either have like really sing-songy voices, or they're just like ah, 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 ah. Like, you know, that's basically also how Drek are. Like, they either have those like really sonorous, like, you know, stacked harmonic voices, or it's just like ah noise. So I can only do so many characters. And I figured Paul could do one of those one of those birds. You know how birds, God. It's a reverse plot twist in the end, it's all Dirk Strider. Fuck. You don't get it. You don't get it. The whole fucking The epilogues were posted in the middle of PAR, but the plot twist of the fact that Kuro as a character was the narrative voice of the comic, or as it was the narrative voice of the series, was fucking, that was supposed to be the thing. That was supposed to be the thing that Etc.verse did, and then Homestuck did it. And now people are making that reference. It's the same plot point. God. That was a good Crow impression. Ah! Ha! 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 I bird sometimes. All right, let's try to record this why question. Chestnut98 asked, do you ever think of asking yourself, why? Yes. I think why is an important question. I think why is an important question. It's the only one that has this entirely abstract sense of meaning attached to it. You can explain how things are the way they are, but it's a lot different than why they are. The how of things is literal physical steps that led up to something. And no matter how ridiculous, the how of things are literal physical steps that led up to something. No matter how ridiculous the how of things are literal physical steps that led up to something. No matter how ridiculous those individual steps are. But the why implies something abstract. A reason for those situations to happen. A reason for something to be led up to. And a place for that situation to go. And a place for that situation to lead, and the role it plays. But when you realize that life is about how many hows led up to now, and has only ever really been a result of how, you still have to go back to being a functioning person again. And so, you still fit events into trails and branches and veins of why just to make sense of it. God damn it, I'm losing it. What I mean is, we're winners. We know how we won. We know why we had to do what we did. But sweeps later, why? What is the point of Earthsea? Paradise, if there's no more ultimate why leading our actions? What is there to live? What is there to live to see if you've already seen it all? What is there to live to see if you've already seen it all? Why is a hard question to answer. A lot of us just make up a new answer to that every day. All right, I'm gonna keep trying this. I need to just get the flow. There's a whole, there's prose to this. I just gotta find the rhythm. Chestnut98 asked, do you ever think of asking yourself, why? Yes. I think why is an important question. It's the only one that has this entirely abstract sense of meaning attached to it. It's the only one that actually has a sense of meaning attached to it. Are your thoughts ever in Karkat's voice? Not, well, they're in a voice, that, the Karkat voice is sort of, when I do Karkat, it's there's a character, and a character is trying to sound a certain way. And so, I do, that person playing that character that they're trying to be. And, the cadence that I shoot for with Karkat is sort of the way that that I hear thoughts in my head. But I'm approaching it from, what... I'm doing Zim, and then doing that. And then doing Zim doing that. But that's what yeah. I hear all my thoughts in Kuro's voice. You may know everything I'm going to do, but that won't help you because I know everything you're going to do. Strange, isn't it? I hear that. That's what I hear in my head. Carcat's there. Carcat's there when I'm mad. Chestnut98 asked, did you ever think of asking yourself, why? Yes. I think why is an important question. It's the only one that isn't really real. And what I mean is, you can explain how things are the way they are, but it's a lot different than coming up with an answer for why they are. The how of things is literal, physical steps that led up to an event. But the how of things is just the literal, physical steps that led up to something. No matter how ridiculous those steps are. No matter how nonsensical those steps are. No matter how nonsensical those steps are. But the why implies something abstract. A reason for that situation to be led up to. And a possible place for that situation to lead to. The role it plays to get there. But when you realize that life is only about how many hows led up to now, and really has only ever been a result of how, you still have to go back to being a functioning person again. You still have to go back to being a functioning person again. You still fit events into trails and branches and veins of why, just to make sense of it. God damn it, I'm losing it. What I mean is, we're winners. We know how we won. We know why we had to do. We know why we know why we had to. We know why we had to. But sweeps later? I would say Kuro's voice is a lot. I'm sorry, my sound cut out. Thank you so much, Valor Bear, for donating. My sound cut out right when the notification went up, so it took me a bit to say that. But thank you so much. Is Kuro's voice just the Kankri voice? It's a lot higher than the Kankri voice, usually. Usually when I do Kankri, I think Shadow the Hedgehog, but more pretentious. When I do Kuro, I try to hike my voice up and use a bit more cadence. It's supposed to sound like royalty, just stepping off their throne and looking down their nose at you. They know everything. All right, where was I in this? Let's do this again. I'm not happy with my take so far. Chestnut98 asked, do you ever think of asking yourself, why? Yes. I think why is an important question. It's the only question that isn't really real. And what I mean by that is, you can explain how things are the way they are, with literal physical steps that lead up to something. But it's a lot different than why they are, which implies something abstract. A reason for a situation to be led up to, and a possible place for that situation to lead, and the role it plays to get there. But when you realize that life is about how many hows led up to now, and really has only ever been a result of how, and really has only ever been a result of how, you still have to go back to being a complex, functioning person again. You still have to go back to being a complex, functioning person again. You still have to fit events into trails and branches and veins of why, just to make sense of it. God damn it, I'm losing it. What I mean is, we're winners. We know how we won. We know how we won. We know why we had to. But sweeps later? Why? What is the point of Earthsea, paradise, if there's no more ultimate why to any of our actions? What is there to live to see if you've already seen it all? What is there to live to see if you've already seen it all? Why is a hard question to answer. A lot of us just make up a new answer to that each day. Why is a hard question to answer. A lot of us just make up a new answer to that every day. Okay. Riku sounds like Eridan. Yeah, like my Eridan voice is just karaoke cadence, like slightly deeper. With a little bit of wah in there. Fuck. Madi's here. Hello. If you want to start voice acting, just start recording your voice and putting it up places. Make goals for yourself, goals to get better equipment. Start a project and try to get some followers on it. Get some people to listen to it. Just go for it. And then, when you get to a certain place, check out casting calls, start auditioning for things. But only do that after you've built up, a couple character voices that you feel confident with. Oh my god, thank you again for the donation. I know the notification's gonna come up. I love that. I'm so appreciative. Thank you so much. You can by the way, if you want me to say anything in Carcat voice, just super chat me with Carcat : and say something. I don't know, is there a limit on super chat characters? But that's a thing. That's a thing you can do. I'm gonna do one more crack at this. Chestnut98 asked, do you ever think of asking yourself, why? Yes. I think why is an important question. It's the only one that isn't really real. And what I mean by that is, you can explain how things are the way they are with the literal physical steps that led up to something, no matter how ridiculous or nonsensical. But it's a lot different than why things are the way they are, which implies something abstract, a reason for that situation to be led up to, and a possible place for that situation to lead, and the role it plays to get there. God damn it. And the role it plays to get there. But when you realize that life is only about how many hows led up to now, and has only ever been a result of how, you still have to go back to being a functioning, complex person with reasons for doing the things you do. So you fit events into trails and branches and veins of why, just to make sense of it. God damn it, I'm losing it. What I mean is, we're winners. We know how we won. We know why we had to. But sweeps later? Why are we here? What is the point of Earthsea, paradise, if there's no more ultimate why to our actions? What is there to live to see if you've already seen it all? Why is a hard question to answer. Why is a hard question to answer. A lot of us just make up a new answer to that every day. A lot of us just make up a new answer to that every day. A lot of us just make up a new answer to that every day. A lot of us just make up a new answer to that every day. Okay, got it. I'm not gonna do any more of that. I can edit those down. I got enough to work with. I think I got enough flow in there. What else? What else do I do? There's a, can you sing ask? And I'm basically gonna answer that one with just like, like, I need to get my scream up. But I can record all of the, let's record all of the talk part for that. Anonymous asked, can you sing? Singing on Earth and singing in Alternia have some slightly different meanings. In the Alternian sense, A bit. In the Earth sense, that depends what you make of this. Alright, a couple more takes. Anonymous asked, can you sing? Singing on Earth and singing in Alternia have some slightly different meanings. In the Alternian sense, a bit. In the Earth sense, that depends what you make of this. Singing on Earth and singing in Alternia have some slightly different meanings. In the Alternian sense, a bit. In the Earth sense, that depends what you make of this. Alright, and then the other halves of that, let me make these red so I know to go back to this part. That one's an Alternian ballad. That one's an Alternian ballad. I'd tell you the name, but it'd be longer than the verse I just did. That one's an Alternian ballad. I'd tell you the name, but it'd be longer than the verse I just did. I'd tell you the name, but it'd be longer than the verse I just did. That one's an Alternian ballad. I'd tell you the name, but it'd be longer than the verse I just did. Yeah, that's that. Let's see. I did that one. I did the Carcat one. Let's do the Are You Short? Let's do Are You Short? Because this one's just Carcat gets mad. Alright, so I'm gonna do a fucking, like, gent breakdown with some drums. And then I'm just gonna, like, scream over it, like, 3 different ways and then layer it. And just do that for, like, 20 seconds and then stop. And just be like, that one's a ballad. And that's the joke. Anonymous asked, are you just short, or are you, like, really short? I don't need to deal with this. I don't need to deal with this. What does my height have to do with anything? And how would you even know? What would you do if I was actually 6'12" or whatever? What would you do? What would you do if I was actually 6'12" or however human measurements work? Would it change anything? Would it put a different coat of lead? Would that put a different coat of lead pigment on it for you? Would it shatter your worldview? Would every cell in your reason sponge flip its tables? Would it be that out of character for me? You all just assume that the easiest explanation for my behavior is that I must be compensating for my physical stature? Is it that obvious? God. Your music helps a lot when I'm really depressed. Thank you so much. I'm glad you appreciate it. Ah! Oh my god. Thank you. What? Oh, did I miss a super chat? What does that say? Oh, fuck. I missed it. Was that a super chat? I didn't see it. Damn, hang on. Oh, fuck. Where is it? Live chat. I can't see what the message was. It was too small on my stream window. I'm so sorry. Post it here. I'm in shadow. I don't, like, why am I... God, I need more light. Nah, okay. Anonymous asked, are you just short, or are you, like, really short? I don't need to deal with this. What does my height have to do with anything? And how would you even know? What would you do if I was actually, 6'12" or however human measurements work? Would it change anything? Would that put a different coat of lead pigment on it for you? Would it shatter your worldview? Make every cell in your reason sponge flip its tables? Would it be that out of character for me? You all just assume that the easiest explanation for my behavior is that I must be compensating for my physical stature? Is it that obvious? 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 I need to come up with like a more frustrated, like, is it that obvious? Like, is it that obvious? God. You think you're real cute, don't you, Dave? Really fucking cute, right? Well, I do too. There's that. Let's see. Romance novel. Anonymous asked, Carcat, have you ever written... Anonymous asked in another familiar quirk, Carcat, have you ever written a fanfic before? Maybe. Perhaps. When I was younger and a bit more invested in some trashy novels, I might have explored some character dynamics and possibilities the stories might have branched down if it weren't for the author's sadistic tendencies. When you see how easy it would have been for a mutual vacillation to synchronize, but the only thing in the way was a flame and a bad impression or two, and you feel the pain of their pining after the conclusion like a romantic stomata, you might be drawn to take some matters into your own hands. At least for yourself. Privately. Not like it's too embarrassing to show others. Also, not like I do that anymore either. Also, Nepeta, aren't you a sprite or something now? How the fuck did you send this? Give me, I will, yeah. 3 bags of hot stuff. I'm gonna buy you like a bag or two of, no, I shouldn't do that. I'm gonna buy you a vegetable. Okay, one more try at this fanfic one. Anonymous asked in another familiar quirk, Carcat, have you ever written a fanfic before? Maybe. Perhaps. When I was younger and a bit more invested in some trashy novels, I might have explored some character dynamics and possibilities. The stories might have branched down if it weren't for the author's sadistic tendencies. When you see how easy it would have been for a mutual vacillation to synchronize, but the only thing in the way was a flame and a bad impression or two, and you feel the pain of their pining after the conclusion like romantic stomata, you too might be drawn to take some matters into your own hands. At least for yourself, privately. Not like it's too embarrassing to show others, but also not like I do that anymore either. Also, Nepeta, aren't you a sprite or something now? How the fuck did you send this? How the fuck did you send this? Okay. Okay. That one's pretty okay. As you can see, the first few answers I did were pretty fucking simple. I needed a little bit of warm up, and now I'm getting back into the AKB. I'm turning up the AKB. Let's see, did the Carcalicious one, did the Y one, did the singing one, did the dark one. How gay are you? That's, yeah, there's a gay question, hang on. Thank you so much for that donation, by the way. Let me answer that question since you asked. Anonymous asked, are you gay? Anonymous asked, are you gay? I'm sure, as I've explained too many times to you hornless flesh bags, troll sexuality doesn't work along the same divisions that you have. So the distinction of which aspects of So the distinction of which aspects of masculinity or femininity a troll is attracted to are not specified or labeled in society, blah, blah, blah. You know all this. Now, let's break down semantics. In regards to the categorization of human sexuality, you could label me bisexual, as seems to be the default for us, and, as I've learned, most of you as well. However, the significance of gay involves the human experience of fitting into the accepted However, the significance of gay involves the human experience of not fitting into the words. However, the significance of gay involves the human experience of not fitting into the accepted societal paradigm of relationships. Since my experience with attraction and emotions hasn't really followed that scheme, no matter how much I've tried to understand it, you could say I'm troll gay. So sure, I'm gay, and that's really all there is to say on the matter. Also, you've been hearing me for 7 years, and I have to honestly ask all of you, do I sound straight to you? Genuinely, sincerely, do I sound straight to you? God. All right. Anonymous asked, do you know how to drive? I believe I've just answered that question. Anonymous asked, do you know how to drive? I believe I've just answered that question. All right. Yeah. Let's see. Gay and can't drive. Yeah. He never sounded straight in the first place. Carcat's never acted straight in the comic. There is not a moment in the comic where Carcat seems like a cishet individual. Like, neither of them are the contrived gay. Dave flies, and Carcat doesn't leave the house. Irascible boy wife. All right. What else? What haven't I covered? Anonymous asked, were there any Earth languages other than English? Anonymous asked, were there any God damn it. Anonymous asked, were there any Earth languages other than English revived on Earth-C? A few. Apparently, humans can't survive without anime, so, of course, Nihongo wa fuhenteki na tei desu. Fuck. Nihongo wa fuhenteki na teitsu desu. Fuck. Teisu desu. Teisu desu. Nihongo wa fuhenteki na teisu desu. Got it. A few, apparently. A few. Apparently, humans can't survive without anime, so, of course, Nihongo wa fuhenteki na teisu desu. Nihongo wa fuhenteki na teisu desu yo. O chinchin ga daisuki da. O chinchin wa daisuki da. Fuck. I gotta stop. Ii o tenki desu ne. Let's do one more take of that. Anonymous asked, were there any Earth languages other than English revived on Earth C? A few. Apparently, humans can't survive without anime, so, of course, Nihongo wa fuhenteki na teisu desu yo. Did I say that right? Of course, Nihongo wa fuhenteki na teisu desu yo. That's good enough. It sounds Karkat, but fuck. Boku wa sex daisuki. Itsu wo no. Is it ore wa or boku wa? I forget how the song goes. Fuck. How do you feel? Oh, hi, Karkat. How do you feel about human affection? Do hugs freak out? Or do hugs freak you out? I can answer that. Give me a second to write something. That's a good question. Hi, Karkat. How do you feel about human affection? Do hugs freak you out? Okay. So I would say, Karkat would probably be, like the same way that... So they do hug on Alternia, it's just sparing. Alright, let's try this. Alyssa Folio asked, hi, Karkat. How do you feel about human affection? Do hugs freak you out? On Alternia, hugs are a sparing concept. Usually, if a troll gets close enough to another troll to wrap their arms around them, you can expect it's for a spine or ribcage crushing reason rather than a consoling one. Rather than a consoling one. So, among humans, the ubiquity of hugs as a social greeting and parting can be somewhat awkward around trolls, but given context, it's easy to assume no one involved has the intention to severely limit your mobility. One more try. Alyssa Folio asked, "Hi, Carcat. How do you feel about human affection? Do hugs freak you out?" On Alternia, hugs are a sparing concept. Usually, if a troll gets close enough to another troll to wrap their arms around them, you can expect it's for a spine or ribcage crushing reason rather than You can expect it's for a spine or ribcage crushing reason rather than a consoling one. So, among humans, the ubiquity of hugs as a social greeting and parting can be somewhat awkward with trolls, but given context, it's easy to assume no one involved has the intention of... But given context, it's safe to assume no one involved has the intention to severely limit your mobility, and so most of us have grown I can't fucking alliterate. Let me try this one more time. I'm just not alliterating. Alyssa Folio asked, "Hi, Carcat. How do you feel about human affection? Do hugs freak you out? Or are they nice?" On Alternia, hugs are a present but sparing concept. Usually, if a troll gets close enough to another troll to wrap their arms around them, you can expect it's for a spine or ribcage crushing reason rather than a consoling one. So, among humans, the ubiquity of hugs as a social greeting and parting can be somewhat awkward among trolls, but given context, it's safe to assume no one involved has the intention to severely limit your mobility, and so most of us have grown accustomed to them. I am indifferent. Yeah. Yeah. Huggers are more restricted to more religions. And a lot of trolls are really strong. So, like, you wouldn't want most trolls getting their arms, like, around you. Because, like, most of them could fucking shatter you. But does Carcat like cuddles? I mean, you didn't ask about cuddles. Carcat wouldn't admit if they like cuddles. That's the thing. He's too, like... He doesn't even, like, admit that he likes romance novels. Whenever he comes up, they're just like, listen, I don't actually like them. I just think they're interesting. Like, I don't know. I answer that... Okay, there's another question where I answer that. So, I mean... Yeah, Equius would fucking melt you. Okay, let me do the mayor one, and then, it's 7. So, let me do the fan art showcase after I track this, and then I'll get into some vocal recording for another track. Did Carcat answer a question from future or past Carcat? I haven't done that yet. Which troll would I hug? I mean, I think Carcat needs a hug. I also think, Tavros. Tavros needs a hug. You know what's fucking stupid is my friend pointed out that I do the same shit that Equius does, where Equius describes everything as strong. I do the same thing, I just use the word loud instead. And I'm a Sagittarius. Anonymous asked, how is the mayor? Anonymous asked, how is the mayor? And then asked again in all caps, how is the mayor? You know, last time I saw him, he was... Wait. That's a good question. I haven't actually seen the mayor in... God, how long? Oh, shit. Is he okay? Where's the mayor been? Where is he? Where's the mayor? Dave! What the fuck happened to the mayor? Okay. Alright, I'm gonna do this again a bit faster. Anonymous asked, how is the mayor? And then again, in all caps, how is the mayor? Last time I saw him, he was... Wait. Well, last time I saw him, he was... Wait, that's a good question. I haven't actually seen the mayor in... God, how long? Oh, shit. Is he okay? Where's the mayor been? Where is he? Where's the mayor? Dave! What the fuck happened to the mayor? Okay. Just genuine concern. Alright. Alright. Okay, so yeah, I did all of the ones that I wanted to do tonight. Cool. Alright, yeah. Now, I have like 60-something asks on my Curious Cat. So, okay, while I'm in this talkback mode here, let me, really quick, let me go into my fan art thing and make sure I have all this set up. Oh, that's not... Let me go into studio mode so I can, you know, fuck with that. Get rid of those. Add files. Yeah. Where's my cursor, you piece of shit? Let me add. Here we go. Come on. Alright. So... Yeah, okay. So, I should be able to bring that out like that. Okay, awesome. So... What the fuck? Wait. Yeah! So Spoonie did fucking Jupiter because I was doing some footage for a video that I'm not talking about yet. And I found the jutes again. So I put those on, and I guess jutes were a joke that was going around, so Spoonie drew Jupiter. It's just Jupiter with fucking jean boots. Then Madi did this thing of Jupiter wearing a shirt that's a lot like a shirt I have, and I dig it. I really dig that lighting. I really love that lighting. Thank you, Madi. Yeah, Elliot made the Jupiter joke. God. So Spoonie drew it. So Cerulean Fox went nuts. This is that, the Prince of Death hieroglyph with the bird in it. They redrew Kuro in there. And then, some more sketches of Jupiter. I really like the one with the T in the sweater. And then that sparkly one they actually made into these keychain designs, which Spinny was actually talking about getting some shrinky-ding paper and making some keychains out of them, so that might be fun. But thank you, Carillion Fox. These are fucking adorable. There's so much as the sparkles. And then Eon did a little bust of Kuiper here, and then another little head for Hunter. And I like these. Thank you, Eon. These are adorable. And I believe it loops back to Jupiter. So thanks guys. Usually when I have, you know, enough things to download and put a folder full of stuff, I'll do one of these fan art showcases. So if you like my birds or any of my other characters and etc. verse, you can send me stuff. Thank you guys. Thank all of you. I'm gonna clip this out and then post it on YouTube and Twitter and all that. But yeah. Most of that is in the... Oh, there was also... Ethereal also did a video on YouTube. Let me find it. And then I can pull it up and watch it. Where is it? Show me. Yeah. Fuck. Oh no, it opened over there.
This is so dumb. The higher I am,
Stop. Hang on. Let me make it full screen. So Ethereal did this.
This is so dumb. The higher I am, the better I can see. You can fly. Hush now, Gregory. I am searching.
And it has a picture of the shell. I love that. Fuck. Thank you so much. This is great. I love all you guys. Oh my god. That was fantastic. It's now 7:15. Let's get into Self Made. You'd buy those keychains? I gotta figure out how to get... I wanna, like, before the end of the year, I wanna figure out, like, a different merch marketplace and then, you know, scale down, like, rethink my merch strategy a little bit. God. Alright, where is Logic? There we go. Spent 3 hours on that. It was worth it. Thank you so much. Alright, so I have this. Yeah. Here. You treat me like royalty. Habit of keeping stagnant. I'm at the data room scrambling. I'm at it in patches cause I forgot the meaning of that bridge. I don't wanna work, I don't wanna grind it. Be worse off falling behind it. Me lay back with lack of forgot the time. I hit the turn when the plebs ain't looking. I get the worst when the best is cooking. Machinery turning, making me sure that I burn the rain I deserve. My name's heard, my flame burning out. My kingdom for a night without my mind on fire. I rule down time like my empire. I'm a self-made, a great demon, force-fed, untied heathen, coated in shades of gold and blue too deep than what my choice would be. I make my coy decree, so don't toy with me. You treat me like I've cracked the code of stacking stone. Alternating modes, I get in the zone. To see my palace has a better throne. Don't ever forget, don't know how to quit. Don't care about limits, I might breathe fire, but I burn out with it. My kingdom for a night without my mind on fire. I rule down time like my empire. I'm a self-made, a great demon force empire. I'm a self-made, a great demon force fed unsight. Thank you for stopping by, Andrew Zadoili. I meet these extremes, I treat them kindly. Hot and cold fronts don't collide. I relay the much amazing, my mind's eye. The kind of ways I live my life like. Storm winds all come from outside. I'm a self-made, a great demon force fed unsighted. Coated in shades of golden blue, too deep than what my choice would be. I make my coy decree, so don't toy with me. You treat me like royalty. I'm a self-made, a great demon force fed unsighted. I'm a self-made, a great demon force fed unsighted. Coated in shades of golden blue, too deep than what my choice. I'm a self-made, a great demon force fed unsighted. Coated in shades of gold. Thank you, Valor Bear. I appreciate that. It's very flattering. Golden blue, too deep. All right, I gotta get rid of that snare. But. Coated in shades of golden blue, too deep. Blue, too deep. Blue, too deep. Don't want much. Alright, let's take those. Let's humanize them. Bup. Alright, let's give the snare something bigger. Let's give the snare its own space here. Space designer. Ha. The reason I like spicy food is the same reason I have every habit, and that's like, there's a part of me that just wants to hurt myself. That's really it. This is the, yeah. Alright, so this one I want to be able to make a bit more stereo than it is. So let's go to the stereo spread. Alright, there's a little bit too much there. Let's just do that after... Let's see. Alright, we'll take that signal and then we'll give it some light a little bit of light modulation, I'd say. Just a little bit. Yeah, that's pretty big. And then we take that out, and then we take some of the highs out. And then turn these up. Have a good night. I am from the worst corners of my psyche. I meet these extremes, I treat them blindly. The hot and cold fronts don't collide. I'm the much amazing, my mind hides the kind of ways I live my life like. Storm winds all come from outside. I'm a self-made A-grade demon, force-fed, unsighted, coated in shades of golden blue, too deep than what my choice would be. I make my coy decree, so don't toy with me. You treat me like royalty. Great demon, force-fed, unsighted, coated in shades of golden blue, too deep than what my you treat me like royalty. I think, you know, okay, so I think Homestuck, there's a lot of cool media out for Homestuck right now. I think, check out the Friend Sims, check out the Hive Swap Friend Sims, those are on Steam. Check out, Hive Swap, the game. Read the comic and find some friends or like a small group that's been through it to like kind of keep you grounded. But I would say, as of right now, like the Homestuck community is pretty, like, there's a lot of cool stuff going on. But it's also one of those things where everyone has their own opinions about it so much that I think reading it yourself, totally isolated from the community before you get into the community, will help you understand things better than if you're, you know, paying attention to the community while you're reading it, because then you won't really, like, you get, like, the world of headcanons, and this is by design, but the world of headcanons has sort of gone off the rails, and so if you find, like, big Homestuck communities, they all have their own headcanons about Homestuck. That's by design, but, it's good to start with your own palette going into it. So I would say yeah, it's it's an incredible comic. It does some crazy things with narrative. You will understand stories and narrative if you get to the end of Homestuck more than you will learn about like narrative tools from any other series. It breaks it wide open for you. It's really fucking fascinating. So yeah, I would say get into Homestuck. Have I ever tried voicing any of the friend sim trolls? No. No. Uh there aren't really many that I click with. I think they're cool. They have cool designs. It's fun to see, more like millennial aimed fucking stereotypes for these characters, but uh yeah, no, I haven't really there aren't really any that I can think of a voice for. I don't know. Do you have an account to the amino? I didn't know that was a thing. People used to ask me about the furry amino. I went on there and I couldn't have a like coherent conversation with anyone, so like I don't have fan art or anything to share either, so I don't know. I don't really use amino. Yeah, do it in the morning when your mind is fresh. There's a lot to absorb. Also, keep in mind, if you're just going to read the original comic, you have to think of it this way in order for it to make sense. Acts 1 to 4, 1 to 4 are Homestuck 1. Okay? Acts 5 is Homestuck 2. Act 5, right? That's basically the sequel to Homestuck within Homestuck, right? Act 6 is Homestucks 3, 4, and 5. That's how I would put it. That's how I would put Homestuck. You get the story, you get one that explains the world and the world building. You get another that does a totally different take on that same like kind of world building with a different world. And then you get one where it uses all of the things you've learned and then makes you doubt all of them. And basically takes the story off the rails. So keep in mind that the story changes very drastically with what it's trying to do over the course of it. But that's my advice. You treat me like royalty! Let's do that intro line. You treat me like royalty! Yeah. Apparently, it's supposed to go, Homestuck, Hive Bent, Hive Swap, Haunt Switch, and then, I don't know. Homestuck's gonna be around for there's another fucking 10 years worth of Homestuck content. That's ridiculous. That's crazy. Alright. You treat me like royalty. You treat me like royalty. You treat me like royalty. Alright. You treat me like royalty. 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 Royalty. Alright, one more try. You treat me like royalty. You treat me like royalty. You treat me like royalty. Alright, one more. You treat... Latency. You treat me like royalty. You treat me like royalty. Not getting the rhythm I want. You treat me like royalty. You treat me like royalty. You treat me like royalty. Royalty. You treat me like 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 royalty. You treat me like... I keep forgetting to fucking turn the goddamn latency. Okay. What else is it recording? Is it... Don't. I'm not recording guitar, you piece of shit. Okay. You treat me like royalty. You treat me like royalty. You treat me like royalty. I got a habit of keeping stagnant. I'm like the batter, I'm scrambling. I'm at it in patches cause I forgot the meaning. Got it. Oh yeah, there's some tame homestucks. There's some really like I say tame homestucks in my Discord. I've been to a lot of Discords about Homestuck, right? and I never stay super active in them because people aren't fucking talking about Homestuck. Like, people are talking about Homestuck. People are talking about Homestuck a lot, but they're not talking about the comic, right? They're just talking about like their characters, like the characters they like. Yeah, but yeah, I have a Homestuck channel on Discord. It's active enough. People discuss things, but it's not crazy. You will not get flooded off the chat if you have a genuine question about Homestuck. You will not get flooded off the chat by people saying Vriska over and over again. Doesn't happen. Which is like a rarity for Homestuck chats. Swear to God. Oh shit. Yeah, I mean, check out the Amino. See what the fan kids are doing. You need better Homestuck chats. Yeah, no, listen, I'm in a few that are good. I'm in a few that are pretty cool. They're like private though. They're not like places that are posted anywhere. It's just where me and some friends talk about Homestuck. All right. All right. I'm gonna do the end on each of these. I'm gonna fix them and make them the other way, the way I did in the intro. So don't toy with me. You treat me like royalty. I gotta do this. I made this dragon drawing tutorial. If I send it to you, will you follow it and draw a dragon? It depends how in-depth it goes. My drawing skills are basically I can get a wireframe looking good, I can get a sketch looking good, but if you want me to put any details on fucking anything, probably not gonna be too good at that. But I could try. Alright, let's do this. So don't toy with me. You treat me like royalty. So don't toy with me. You treat me like royalty. You don't toy with me. You treat me like royalty. So don't toy with me. You treat me like royalty. So don't toy with me. You treat me like royalty. One more. What the fuck? Why does it make my screen so big? I want it to be down here. There. Okay. Fuck. So don't toy with me. You'll treat me like royalty. Alright. Let's hear how these work. I've cracked a code, a stacking stone. Alternating modes, I get in the zone. To see my palace has a better throne. Don't ever forget, don't know how to quit. You treat me like royalty. You treat me like royalty. I am from the worst corners of my psyche. I meet these extremes, I treat them blindly. My hot and cold fronts don't collide. I play the much amazing, my mind died. The kind of ways I live my life like. Storm winds all come from outside. I'm a self-made, A-grade demon, force-fed, unsighted. So don't toy with me. You treat me like royalty. You treat me like royalty. You treat me like Come on. Yeah, if you wanna send that tutorial on like the art channel on the Discord, I'll check it out. I'll see if I'll do a little, top-down camera if I get the time. Royalty! I make my coy decree, so don't toy with me. You treat me like royalty. Coy decree, so don't toy with me. You treat me like royalty. I make my coy decree, so don't toy with me. You treat me like royalty. I make my coy decree, so don't toy with me. You treat me like royalty. Okay. So not to get into politics, but anybody see the debates? Fuck. I made jokes last year that the Republican race was a fucking clown car. The Democratic debates have been a fucking clown car. Half of those, I don't know why half of those people are there. Who are they? Like, I was just like, I would turn on the debates and there's just some fucking old white man I've never seen before talking to the camera. And it's like, who the fuck is that? Ex-governor of some state, mayor of some fucking city. I don't know who the fuck any of you people are. And like, they're all saying nothing. We need to do this. How? I don't get it. I recognize Bernie Sanders. I recognize Andrew Yang. Beto O'Rourke. But I couldn't understand anything he fucking said. Even when he was speaking English. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on with this fucking country anymore. I hope that the field narrows down. I hope that most of them are just trying to get book deals in. That was the reason half of them ran for Republican side last time. Like Ben Carson. He just wanted to sell a fucking book. He just wanted to get some book sales in. I am not sure how well any of them could beat Trump. I think like a good, like, you know, the half of them that people know, I'm pretty sure like could beat Trump. Any one of them, no matter how boring they are, would be better than Trump. It's just like, oh man, that was excruciating. 2 days. They had to split it up over 2 days. That was excruciating. It was so boring. It's so phenomenally boring. They gave everyone, like, you can't go into policy if you're only given fucking 45 seconds to speak. Ugh. God. I think, like, no matter what goes on, and even though there's so many consequences of this, we're in a reality show right now, right? America, the alternate reality of daytime TV is now governing the country. So, fucking, you know, all of this is going to shit. And yeah, there's still chances we can do something about it. There's ways we can get involved. But I mean, you kind of just gotta throw your legs up on the fucking table sometimes and accept, like, this shit's a clown show. And then have fun. Andrew Yang, they turned his mic off. They turned that motherfucker's mic off. That's bullshit. They gave him 3 questions. They turned his mic off. They turned his mic off when he wasn't fucking... They wanted Kamala Harris and Biden and Bernie to fight. That was it. That's what they wanted. That's what they got. But, and when Andrew Yang tried to do the same thing that any of the other fucking people on stage, his mic was cut off. They turned his fucking mic off. That's so bullshit. It might have just been a technical failing. Okay. But, come on. Come on. It's wrestling. Yeah. Yes. Yes. Politics is wrestling. People in fucking boardrooms that we don't see decide the answers and they just fucking duke it out. Crazy. I have a song about this shit. It's called Surreptitious. I wish I lived in a world that wasn't so fake. It's so absurd. We all have to go out we live in a society where we all have to go out every day and pretend that things make sense. We have to keep things in our head that we know full well make sense, and we're waiting for a time where we return to like a situation where that knowledge is useful, right? But it's not. We're in fucking echo land. We are in noise land. Nothing makes sense. There is just a play going on that we're experiencing that makes no fucking sense whatsoever, and we all know it. And we all have to be part of it. We all have to say things, like a specific way that are completely ingenuine. We all have to fucking acknowledge concept. We have to fucking argue with definitions of concepts and people still don't accept them. Republicans don't fucking know the definition of to concentrate. Like, and people refuse to acknowledge the planet is fucking dying. That's not even like a fucking, like, I swear to God, the polar vortex, there's so many homeless people in Chicago. And there's so many people living out in the fucking woods in the middle of Wisconsin or whatever, right? The polar vortex comes, sweeps, just calls the fucking poorest of the poor, and like, and that's gonna happen every year now? That's just the thing we have to look forward to? Is we have to spend 2 or 3 days locked in our fucking rooms if you live a certain degree above the goddamn equator? Are you fucking kidding me? And we just have to go back to normal like the rest of the fucking year? There was a time where I could have lost my hand trying to open a fucking doorknob. And that's gonna happen every year. Jesus Christ. And we all just can't. It's like a species-wide anxiety. Species-wide responsibility anxiety. Like, you know that feeling when you're sitting around and like 2 hours go by and you know you have stuff to do that day. You know the endless list of stuff you have to do that day. And you wake up the next day knowing you didn't do half of those things. And now your list for today is even longer. And you know that there's no way in hell you're getting that much done if you couldn't get the same amount done before. And every day is like that. And every day you wake up. But there's nothing we can do. There's nothing you in particular can. So it's just like this fucking, like, you just have to acknowledge and accept, like, Okay, yeah, some people are letting the fucking world burn. Anyway. We're still fucking arguing about gender. Come on. Come on. Every fucking culture. There have been so many. It's only the Indo-Europeans. God damn it. It's only Indo-European culture that made a big deal of separating masculine from feminine. Right? It's part of a philosophy. I get it. You need to understand the difference between masculine and feminine to, like, recognize forces in the universe and their opposition. It's one way you can measure it. Okay, sure. But the thing is, DNA is an approximate beast. It knows about poles. It doesn't fucking firmly exist along poles, and we're still having this argument with terms that only refer to the poles and don't refer to the variance. And whenever people come up with words for the variance, we argue over which ones are appropriate and what they mean. And then if people like it, even if it doesn't really apply to them, they apply it to them themselves, and then other people get mad and they police them for it. And so really, whenever we come up with a definition, it gets muddled into gray areas until we either change the definitions or break down the categories further into finer and finer, more and more multisyllabic terms for identities and orientations and the like. Why can't we just fucking be humans? I posit that we replace a gender identity with quark flavors. Because here's the thing. You can be up, down, strange, charm, top, or bottom. You can also be red, green, or blue. You get those two axes. Not even two axes. There's like three, plus red, blue, and green. So you have, yeah. I already did this. It's the fucking Beitsami thing in Akv. Dragon tutorial. Yeah, we got after 8, and then I immediately started ranting about politics. We've blown over time. Yeah. Yeah, I was getting into impassioned gender talks. I I think if we could boil down identity, once we reach a point, because here's the thing. Um, is there is non-binary way of thinking, and there is a binary way of thinking. I think that the binary way of thinking, the obsession with identity as a self-prescribed, self-described thing, is sort of inhibiting. It's sort of inhibiting progress. Here's my angle, because this is sort of unorthodox. The more that people assert identities, the more that people want to assert identities for themselves, the harder it is going to be to solely place why we are the way we are. The more obfuscation that we put over identity, and the more that we try to define categorizations of identity, the more problems we're gonna have. Because that's just getting into obfuscation, right? If you don't like what a word means, you sort of change the meaning of it in your head and then pick a different word that you think suits you more. If we keep doing that, we're not gonna fucking agree on any of these terms, and we already see this as a problem. It's very hard to talk about queer shit because we don't have words for it. But here's the thing. Identity and identities that we affirm for ourselves, right? They're a product of, or rather, they're a statement to counter or to oh god, I had a way that I put this the other day. Statements about gender. Let me turn this off so I don't sound like I'm in fucking Red versus Blue. So I feel like any affirmed identity is really we define ourselves to contrast ourselves from things we are not, or things we believe we're not. That's what I mean. When we define ourselves, what we are subconsciously doing and what we're inherently doing, and sometimes consciously we can catch ourselves doing this, when we choose to define ourselves as something, when we choose to say we are something, it is because we want to avoid confusion with being called, with it being said that we're something else, right? It's sort of, when you say you're anything, you're doing so to say you're not other things, right? This is like a core concept in, I think, yogic philosophy, is that like you are defined by what you are not, right? Like when you come up with a definition, it's to differentiate yourself from the noise, right? But how do we do that? We don't know who the fuck we are, besides looking back on our own actions and deciding, you know, what we've done, what we like, what we care about, what we look like, what we talk like, what we act like, you know, how much of that naturally comes out. There's ways that you can be read, and there's ways that you can express yourself. And I don't think there's anything wrong with finding words to describe ourselves and express ourselves. But, here's the paradox. No one person is going to find the most aesthetically pleasing label for them that is also applicable to other people. It hasn't worked. Because the thing about queer and the thing about gender in general is that it's so particular that it might as well just be described by individual traits rather than trying to take a whole of a person and sort them into a different box. I think people have masculine and feminine traits. I think people also have traits that you can't define as masculine or feminine. And I think, really, at the end of the day, we need to get to a point where we're less insecure about what we're biologically handed, but also not assume that because of anyone's biology, that their mental or physiological characteristics are a certain way. Which is difficult. That's the hard part, right? Okay. What if you become that? Identity can be limiting yourself. Yeah. That's the thing. Here's a personal story. And there's other personal stories that I see. Where I was watching well, let's start off with a non-personal story. I was watching a YouTuber who goes by Cat Black, and she used to, you know, rant about queer theory, and used to, you know, be gender queer, and talk all about that, and talk about how, you know, assimilating is, you know, like, how, you know, you don't want to assimilate into a role, you want to, you know, challenge the boundaries of whatever. But when they went to college and she started, you know, exploring herself and figuring herself out, she realized, I'm not really queer. I just kind of feel like expressing myself as just a woman who likes men. She's trans, and, you know, talks about that, but she says it's not affected her life in such a way that it would affect, quote-unquote, people who identify as queer. So she doesn't really claim to be queer, even though she's trans, because she feels like, honestly, assimilating into a role of a woman who dresses like a woman, likes traditionally feminine things, and dates men is fitting. And there's a bit of that gap in between where you feel like, you have to prove yourself to a community. You have to rebel. You're fighting against these insecurities, and you're trying to accept yourself in such a way that's confusing. Because the words that were given to talk about these things growing up don't really have leeway for these gray areas. So you get mad. You come up with more and more words for those gray areas. And you want to firmly stake your claim in that gray area, or in that area that you feel like is applicable to you. But identity is fluid. It changes given circumstance, what you care about, what you've been through. Your perspectives change. Who you're socialized to over the course of your environment. You can change your accent over the course of your life by hanging around different people. You can change your cadence over the course of your life by hanging around different people. Your views. Maybe you've been through some events that lead you to feel a certain way, avoid certain things. Maybe you've been through some events that let you prefer other things that other people don't. People are complex. And especially if you're queer, you can be as confident as you want to be. But especially if you're in that gray area, trying to define yourself, you don't know if you're going to fit that definition the next day. And so it gets to a point where, I think we overthink this. I think we not totally throw out the concept of gender identity, but recognize and get other people to recognize that people will read you and you will come off and you will have the energy and the interests and whatever you have from living life. Don't try to fit into a box of masculine or feminine. Don't shoot for it. See where you end up. For a lot of us, surprisingly, it's somewhere in the middle. And this is also this is the tiniest peeve. This is the tiniest peeve that I have, but I think about this. Like the words non-binary, agender. They're both they both start with not, right? Like they both start with a not or without, right? It's like saying atheist, right? But it's still acknowledging this concept of gender, and it's still, in a sense, an identity that relates to how you fit along societal roles and niches. And that bothers me sometimes because I always try to look for a word, queer is the only word that makes sense to me, but I also just don't feel much attachment with the quote unquote queer community because my hobbies are different. There's not a lot of conversations that I can have that I relate to a lot of people that identify themselves as queer or trans femme. So I wonder if the definitions of those labels seem to make sense to me. Why can't I get along with people who use those labels as well? Is that just community? Or is it the fact that there's a lot more different about us than how we identify? People can find cliques, and then they want to define the label that they choose as meaning part of my clique. And so you get these ideas of like, such and such is trans culture, such and such is trans woman culture, such and such is queer culture, such and such is NB culture, such and such is lesbian culture. And you get these statements and you get these affirmations and you get this kind of policing that really only will start from a click and resonate outward. Labels become a tool for exclusivity more than inclusivity. I think wait, let me pull this up. Y'all know what's coming. Case .dog/hs/hs.png. Oh, you know. Shit. How do I zoom out? Okay, I can do that. That's fine. That's good enough. Can I? How far does it go? Yeah. Okay. Here's what I think. You get to a conception of yourself, right? Then you get to a conception of yourself, and there's something that belongs with you, and there's something that does not belong with you, right? This interesting primary conception, right? I like this spectrum better because it's operating off of the same primary ideas, but there's steps in between them. You can play a major chord, you can play a major 7 chord, but you can't play music over that if you're just using the notes of a major 7 chord. You need to have a scale. You need to have a do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. You need to have a gradient. You need to have a spectrum. And you also need to understand that even though we have these ideas on the spectrum, the way that we categorize them is not the way that is inherently the most harmonious to us. When we make a minor scale, we replace this 11 here with an inverse of this 12. This is the perfect fifth. The inverse is the perfect fourth, which is just the same interval from underneath. But that's so we can have two perfect ideas in our scale, even though nature doesn't work that way. We sharpen this one so it gets a little further away from this. We totally take away this one. Actually, no. We totally take away this one and give this one's burden. We call things other things in nature. We quantize things to our neat, harmonic patterns. But if you look at the general pattern of nature, it's got the fucking pride flag in it. It's got a rainbow. This is our visible existence spectrum. And it works across light. It works across sound. It works across identity and the role and the niche you play. But yeah. So, I mean, I think about gender a lot. I think about gender identity a lot, and I think eventually, if we could get to a point where people, whoever, were comfortable, writing their... If we could get to a point where every sign-up sheet, for medical shit, say for at a doctor's office, they ask you to put, what biological sex you are. If you could mark that and they also had a pronoun thing next to it, and you could write whatever the fuck there. If we could get to a point where every citizen can be okay, like, not insecure about acknowledging a physical reality, but also acknowledging their capability for expression, then I think we'd be in the clear. But I think right now, people are I think a lot of the conversation about gender identity is a bit too ruled by what people want to say they're not, more than really being honest about what we are. And that's a weird angle to have. It's a really, like a lot of people wouldn't agree with me. I think, this is my personal, experience. The makeup of gray matter and white matter in the brain between males and females is different and has been found to have different ratios. For the past 50 years, we've been doing autopsies of this shit. However, in gay and trans people, the ratios of gray matter to white matter are swapped in the sexes. Among queer and intersex people, it is found that there's a bit more of a gray area. I mean, is gray matter. There's a gradation, right? Now, trans people, there's people that feel genuinely like the brain in their skull is not connected to their body. That is a common complaint of trans experience, right? Dysphoria. I don't think we should cheapen that. That's a thing that happens. We can explain it. There's been scientific consensus on this. There's also scientific consensus on the presence or absence of genes that relate to hormone receptivity and production. Meaning that there are people with XX chromosomes who have genes that make them more sensitive to testosterone. There are people with XY chromosomes that make them less sensitive to testosterone, make them produce less testosterone, make them more receptive to estrogen, even though they don't produce as much. This is genetic. It's been academic consensus for fucking 24 years. We never talk about this in debates about this. This is never brought up. This isn't a transmed concept. Because at the end of the day, anyone can identify however they want. Right? But the thing is, we have all of the clues to put the picture together. We know what some of these different factors are. We can explain it with the hows, right? And then we can come up with our own why. Once we have the tools we have. I don't really have a problem admitting that I was born into a male frame. I don't have a problem with that because I know very well over the course of my life that the other two fucking factors in that equation, hormones and the way my brain is wired, are not male. I'm fine with being 2 out of 3. That's okay. I don't have a fucking problem with that. I'm not insecure about it because now I know an explanation as to why I feel the way I do. And that's validating to me. It's not validating for some people, and I don't understand that. I don't think like that. I don't know. I'm not a transmed because, like, literally the thing I was just saying is that, like, we need to come to a fucking place where we totally detach the idea of gender expression from the idea of biological sex. Because here's another thing, and I talk about this in the etc. verse a bit. How many fucking social situations do you exist in week to week to week where it's necessary to know whether you can reproduce with the people around you? You don't need to know that shit in school. You don't need to know that shit at work. You don't need to know that shit at the DMV. You don't need to know that shit buying groceries. You don't need to know that shit calling an Uber. You don't fucking need to know. like 90% of the time how compatible your reproductive organs are with the people around you, right? Society doesn't fucking prioritize that anymore. So what's the point of tying our expression purely to which role in reproduction we would fill if we were to carry it out with a fucking stranger we meet on the street? Why? Why do we do that? But yeah. That's how I think about this shit. I appreciate you talking about this. Thank you. I think that's the thing, is I try to get into the weeds about this shit. I try to talk from angles that people don't normally talk about this shit. Because, I think the debate is, like, I'm getting personal about this, but I think people get a little too personal about big ideas. And gender's a really fucking big idea, and it's gonna take some time to unravel it. I don't want to fuck anybody at the DMV. God. And I don't want anybody at the DMV to be thinking about whether or not they can fuck me. That's just... You get to a point in life where you have other fucking things to worry about. So, the future is queer, right? Whether we call it that or not. If cis men can wear makeup and heels and shit, and, women have been wearing short hair and pants for, longer than men have been comfortable doing anything, then we're already getting to the point where expression is sort of just arbitrary. And that's fine. Eventually, we will all be arbitrary. Anyway, it's 8:30. If you're gonna identify yourself as anything, consider all of the context of the solar system, the universe, every sweet spot we exist in. Did you also know we exist in the sweet habitable zone of the Milky Way galaxy, as well as our solar system? We're right in the fucking middle. Sometimes I see a particularly prime bunch of kale and get excited. Oh boy. I don't want to fuck anybody at the DMV. That's the thing, is like, you go to the DMV, you go there to get like your ID or your license or whatever. So, you're gonna have to deal with that. But it's really like, why? Why does a cop need to know that? Why do people working for the government need to know these details about me? But think about this. We're a bunch of hows stacked up, right? There's a bunch of things that led up to the way we are. We just try to make sense of it. Like, keep in mind that, no matter what anyone tries to define you as, you're a human. Feel some kinship with the fact that fucking, our ancestors branched off from us millions and millions of years ago to start breaking down rock into soil. Then plants showed up on land. And eventually animals showed up on land to eat the plants. And, like, there's this ongoing stage that was set for us. And we have so much experience at our disposal. What the fuck is the point of limiting it and limiting our experience to reducing it to how appropriate it is for where we want to be on a masculine to feminine spectrum. Why do we consider that? What's the point? Just do what you gotta do. Do what you want to do. Anyway, good luck out there. Keep climbing. I'm probably gonna put out Self Made this weekend on Patreon. It's a Patreon exclusive. Might also be a bonus track on Bandcamp, but it won't be on streams. Streaming services. But that's what I'm gonna be up to this weekend. Good luck out there. Keep climbing, and don't ever look down. I will see you guys around. You treat me like royalty. You treat me like royalty. I got a habit of keeping stagnant. I'm like the daughter, I'm scrambling. I'm at it in patches cause I forgot the meaning of that bridge. I don't wanna work, I don't wanna grind it. Be worse off falling behind it. Me lay back with lack of forgot the time. I hit the turn when the plebs ain't looking. I get the worst when the best is cooking. Machinery turning, making me sure that I burn the rain I deserve. My name's heard, my flame burning out. My kingdom for a night without my mind on fire. I will down time like my empire. I'm a self-made, a great demon, force-fed, untied heathen. Coated in shades of gold and blue too deep than what my choice would be. I make my coy decree, so don't toy with me. You treat me like royalty. I've cracked the code of stacking stone. Alternating modes, I get in the zone. To see my palace has a better throne. Don't ever forget, don't know how to quit. Don't care about limits. I might breathe fire, but I burn out with it. My kingdom for a night without my mind on fire. I will down time like my empire. I'm a self-made, a great demon, force-fed, untied heathen. Coated in shades of gold Thanks for coming.